Ulrich, roadracingworld.com, also owns M4 EMGO Suzuki. Now, you've lost one of your best riders, Michael Barnes, to injury, and you replaced him with a young man from Colombia, Martin Cardenas. How did that come about?
Well, you know, I'd been kind of watching Cardenas since he showed up over here, and I knew that he had raced in the 250cc World Championship. I also knew that he'd done some supersport racing in Spain, although I wasn't 100% sure what he'd done there. So I had seen him in the Superstock class. He was riding a bike that didn't seem to work all that well, but he's going pretty good on it. And then my son Chris reported to me that the guy had some pretty serious skills. So I had that floating around in the back of my head anyway. And Barnes was hurt. And the situation we faced was, with Barnes getting hurt Saturday afternoon, is, okay, we need to put somebody on the motorcycle to ride around the racetrack, but obviously we need somebody who doesn't have contractual obligations or sponsorship deal conflicts or something. So, you know, that really limits your pool.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there mulling this all over, and Moose from Trackside Racer Supply called me and he said, "Hey man, why don't you talk to this Cardenas guy?" And I said, "Well, you know, doesn't he have some deal going with the guys he's riding for?" And he says, "No, he doesn't." He said he didn't think so. So I said, "Okay, I'll talk to him." So I went over and talked to him, and I was surprised that he spoke perfect English, because up to that point, also what had been happening was some guys, different Colombians and Venezuelans, had been calling me up and talking to me at the races saying, "Oh, you should sign this Cardenas guy." And, you know, when they were talking to me, I had a full squad, so, you know, anyway. So I was surprised to find that his English was perfect, because I would have thought, because he kept, you know, other people kept approaching me on his behalf, that he couldn't speak English or something. But his English was perfect. I talked to him, I asked him what the deal was, and he basically said that what he was riding was a bike that some friends of his put together so he could, you know, race it here in the U.S. Didn't have any contracts, didn't have any sponsorship obligations. And he said he was interested in riding our bike. You know, it turns out he's finished 5th in a 250 World Championship race. He was 2004 Spanish Supersport champion. That's probably a pretty good indicator that he knows what he's doing. So we rolled the dice, put him on the bike Sunday morning. He did one session on the bike in practice. He raced the thing from 20th, where he qualified on his own bike, up to 12th. He might have been 10th if the race hadn't been red flagged, but anyway, he looked real good. So we decided to go ahead and put him on here and see what happened, and obviously it's turned out real well.
Darn the bad luck.
Yeah, you know, it was, when I watched him ride, I had a pretty good idea that there was something there. And the other thing that was a really big decider for me was Chris's, you know, eyewitness report from having seen him on the track. So I rely on Chris quite a bit when I'm looking at guys, and he definitely nailed it on this one.
So are you looking to have Barney back by Laguna Seca?
Well, Barnes had surgery just this last Tuesday. The surgeon he went to wanted to let the swelling go down before he actually operated. So, you know, he's got an 8-week healing cycle, basically. They had to fix his navicular, screw that together, and they also had to reattach some tendons. So Laguna's 7 weeks out. So he's called me and said he wanted to try to ride the Supersport bike at Laguna. If he wants to do that, that's okay with us. But you know, I'd rather that he healed up completely before he came back, because I don't want to aggravate the injury and prolong the healing process. What happens, I don't know. But basically, you know, at this point, we're going to keep Cardenas on his motorcycles until he comes back, and then we'll, you know, deal with the situation then.
Well, good luck, and we hope you have more of that kind of, how shall we say, replacement success.
Well, thanks. Hopefully you don't have to replace anybody else, but this guy Cardenas is definitely good.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.